And the Buddha's teaching, when the Buddha always asks people to recollect Monastery, recollections of death. It's not the case that the Buddha, is looking at the negative side of mankind or some school of study will say that, oh, this is very neurotic kind of thinking. It's not the case. But it's something, it's the act of the cause of the nature is happening to us. Now what happens is we always get attached, very attached to our view on this body of ours. Right? We don't want it to grow old, we don't want it to die, we don't want it to get sick and whatsoever. Right? So we hold so dear to this body, and the more dear we hold to it, the more attachment we have onto this body of ours, and likewise the body of other people, like our parents, for example. Right? When you say that our parents, and the most important thing, the fundamental values, the moral values of the parents to the children to the parents, is that they must do their duty to support each other in terms, right? You have a child, you have a son, a daughter, something like that. Now, we nurture them with what? With all the tender care, with all the love, with all the support, to nurture them into an adult. Now, our duty has been fulfilled. And when they are matured enough, they live their own life. Right? And the guidance of the parent is to give them advice, that's all. Right? And leave them alone. Because it's their own karma. They must decide for themselves from then onward. Right? We don't have to be, sometimes get engrossed or worried or get sad by certain things that happen to them, or who they should marry, or who the son should have, what kind of wife, or what the daughter must have, what kind of husband, and so forth. Then you have problem. Leave them alone, just leave them alone. The most important, we have done our duty. And that's it. We cannot force things to happen the way we want it to be. I always emphasize, even the way we think, the thinking that's happening within our mind, many times we can't even fulfill what we are thinking, what we want to do. We can't even do. You just look at ourselves, we do. And then for other people, you want to control other people to do what we wanted to do, asking for trouble. Right? Same thing with the parents, and so forth. And if you get too meddling or too busybody, then you have problems straight away. You have problem. Regardless whether you're in family, relationship, or what, this thing will happen straight away. So remember, the Buddha's teaching, we're going to die one day. Right? We do our responsibility properly. We look at ourselves. Try to do the best. Are we okay already with all our behavior? We should look at ourselves. And for the children, to the parents, likewise. Even though we are overseas, right? I'm sure we never neglect the care. For example, we're sending financial help or whatever thing they need help. We always oblige, right? After all, we're people who have good-hearted people who always do good, generous enough. So helping our relative or friends in trouble is very normal. The minute we hurt someone in trouble, pop, straight away our heart is how to help them. That is the nature. That's the nature, the power of what? Generosity. Because we keep training ourselves, nurtured in this direction. So this kind of inclinations, goodness, arise very fast. Snap. When you hurt someone in trouble, how to help them? How am I going to help them? In terms of what? Material, times, knowledge, or services, right? Because why? When we recollect about death, after one day we're going to die soon, why not we do all the goodness to fulfill our mind, to make our mind happy? Like the Buddha has already found the path. The Buddha say what? Practice generosity, practice restrain your action, your speech, your thoughts. Practice what? Calming of your mind. And this is the most important thing, calming of the mind. That what we have been always emphasizing, calming of the mind. Right? Because why? If our mind is calm, then you can see the real teaching will arise within you. You have a lot of gratitude. You have a lot of, indebtedness to the Buddha. Say, wow, such a great man, how he found the path. Right? Nati Santi Paramang Sukham. Peace is the highest happiness. Peace of heart. Not what we say, the peace outside. No, there's no peace at all outside. It's always on the catch-22, running. Wanting, craving, wanting more. This is the heart. There's no peace. The real peace is the peace of your heart. That means you are able to calm your mind. Every time when you meditate, every time when you do chanting, you sit and meditate, your mind can be under your control. Now we sit in Yu Yang, the mind go back home. Tomorrow want to eat what? Tomorrow to plan what? Do this, do that. No. You see how this mind travels, how this mind reacts so fast, snap, so fast. That's why it's so important to cultivate the mind. Because one thought moment, you can be, when people talk about rebirth, so fast, one thought moment. But a lot of people, they ask this question, Ajahn, I think the last moment very important, so we just watch out for the last moment. Yes, it's important. If you don't train, if you are not trained, you can't even say Putto the whole night. You can't even maintain on your meditation theme the whole night. You want to talk about last moment, bluffing yourself. We're not going to be a hypocrite. The Buddha's teaching is the truth. Are you able to pinpoint? Are you able to keep to your object? Stay fast and lock in. Just like our navigator, our Google map lock in, the GPS just lock in. Putto, and nothing else until the mind comes to a calmness. We must reach there. If you're using the breath, same thing. If not, if you were to think of the body, remember, don't think of external things. Because when you think external things, the mind will drag you away from the present moment. And then you think, plan, and then go to Mars, go to Jupiter, go around the world. Then you thought that you're meditating, you're daydreaming the whole day, planning. You're wasting our time meditating in the forest. So remember, don't off the track when we meditate. Remember, my duty here is to remind again and again. Right? You might say that, please give us some new Dharma. What kind of Dharma you want? People funny, they want new Dharma. The same old thing, ask you to focus on, can't even focus, can't even look. Ask you to look at case, hello, man, this one not Dharma, this one is too dry. What kind of Dharma you want? You can't even develop what the Buddha says, Samadhi, concentrated mind. We can't even do that. Do that first. One step at a time. You want to climb the staircase, one step at a time. Don't try to jump after you break your teeth because you miss a step. You're going to break your teeth and hurt or injure yourself. This is what's happening now. In the Buddhist circle, people practicing. So impatient, one fast result like McDonald's like that. Oh, it's okay. Cannot. Always back to nature. Look at the tree, how the tree grows. It's so fascinating when you meditate. If you want to meditate external, look at the tree. how the tree grow from seed, and how you nurture it, how you look after it, how the nature look after it, how it become a big tree, like what we has been enjoying last night, all this nature. And of course, as mankind who look after it, there's authority, and how these things have benefited mankind. If you know how to make use of the object or anything, it can benefit you. But a person who don't know how to use it, like last night, like what I don't know, I didn't know. They said the people drinking, a lot of people, young men taking alcohol up there. You see, it's a secluded, sacred place for the aborigine, but people got no respect and go and drink this type of thing. So you see, but of course, what I'm trying to say is that you look at the difference. A group going there for the sake of mental cultivation, to calm the mind. A group there, to hey ha, to look for enjoyment, and they say that there's enjoyment. Well, they just deserve their right because they doesn't know. This is people, we call it the group of ignorant people, people who doesn't know, right? People who are blinded, like we were before we were blinded, right? Same thing. So we must have the compassion that, oh, these are the people like us before who doesn't know, and they behave this way. So what to do? We have the compassionate. We pity them. Oh yeah, they should be spending the time, more time with themselves, cultivating their mind, doing goodness. But they say that this is enjoyment. Same thing. An untrained mind is always the same. Untrained mind, right? We also suffer the same fate like other people. Same, right? Until one day we start to know that what we are doing is quite silly. They say, oh yeah, very silly. Okay, don't do silly thing anymore. Then we meditate, then we do goodness. You mix with people who are wholesome, who always tell all the good things. These are the people we want to mix with, right? And remember, like I said earlier, go back to your object. Don't go and plan in the forest, more quiet, better planning. Remember, and for our parents, remember, right? With all the accumulated merit in the past until now, you just dedicate the merit to them. You don't worry, right?